So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with everyone some resources in Alachua County. So this is the PDF that you can get from my website. You can go to blessedfinancialcoaching.com and click to get the resource. And this is the How to Get More Money in 2025 PDF. It's 17 pages long. And so to start, we're just going to get to the topic, how to get more money in 2025. So if you have any questions about how to get more money in 2025, you can leave it in comments, or you can review this with me as we go along. So step one, we want to make sure that you can keep more money. Step two, we want to make more money. And step three, we want to get awarded more money. So to keep more money, you need to know where you're at on the financial roadmap. The Office of Financial Readiness is a government office that has a lot of different resources. It's FinRed, and you can construct your financial plan, help with your taxes. It talks about the importance of having a will. There's just so many resources here. So you can start with the spending plan worksheet. It's one of the specific things that I put on page 3 right here, the spending plan worksheet. And this is a fillable field. So you can put your name in here, you can enter $1, whatever, and then it's going to put the money here. And then it also is doing calculations for you at the end. You can print this out and have just this fillable in paper format. But if you keep it in this PDF form and you fill it out first, then you should be able to still print this with those totals. Now, I have not filled this out and tested that theory of printing it with those amounts, but I don't see why it would not be able to print those amounts as you go through and fill it in. But yeah, as you put in all your different totals, these different number boxes, do calculations here. So if you put that you had $1 in income, $1 in housing, $1 in food, it's going to say you had negative $2. So it's doing this math for you here for all of your different expenses. And, oh, that's a typo. But yeah, you can put in all of your different expenses here. And this is your current and this is your goal. So if you have an idea of like you're going to make an additional $100 and these expenses are going to be the same, then when you come down here, you can see the difference of those changes if you were to get rid of your student loan payment or you were to have an additional expense. And this is a really helpful feature of this because it's not just telling you where you are, it's telling you where you're going. So if you have more expenses or if you have less, that's going to be in this total box here from the Office of Financial Readiness. So let's go back to our spreadsheet here. So that was the spending plan worksheet. Let's look at the financial well-being assessment. This is also from FinRed. The financial well-being assessment is a quiz you can kind of give yourself. And it looks at your present financial security, and you rate that question here. I paid for the necessities like housing, food, and clothing over the past 12 months without any difficulty. And then you would rate yourself. Rarely, sometimes, often, always, and you go down the list. And then as you progress, you will have a score for each of these that you can total up and put in these boxes. And so this one is for present, and then as you go down, this is for future. And this is regarding savings, creating a plan, or providing a spouse or partner with information resources to access and manage finances. And so this is also targeted in some ways to military veterans, but you can also imagine what could happen here if there was a hospitalization or if you were out of the country for other reasons, traveling. And then this goes on to talk about the present freedom of choice and how you feel about those things, reviewing your credit score, saved or investing. And then as you get down to the bottom, after you've worked through all of these different things, you have your different categories of your 5 different categories. And it tells you kind of how you are on the scale. And then it gives you some more tips and tricks at the bottom here. And then you can scan the QR code if you want more resources there. So that's the financial well-being assessment. And then let's check out the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has lots and lots of resources for buying a house, filing your taxes, getting an auto loan, paying for college. And when you go into each of these things, it has even further tools for each different category. And so you can, like if you're still in your preparation stages, you can go to your credit report review checklist and you can put different checkup status check marks. So if you're going to be shopping for a house, let's say, and you want to check your credit and make sure everything's correct, so that way when your credit is pulled by a mortgage company, that they are getting the correct information and not something that is going to delay your home loan process in the future. So some of the things are very important, because you want to make sure it's correct, but also to make sure there hasn't been fraudulent activity. So do you suspect that you have been the victim of identity theft? You can take a look and make sure that everything there is yours and that there is no fraud. And that way you're not in for any surprises after you've been looking for a home. Here are the contact information for the different credit bureaus. And if you did not know, you can get a free credit report once per year from those credit bureaus. And this is a copy of what a dispute letter would look like at the bottom of this file. So if you found something that you did not believe was yours, you can use this example to write dispute letters. There's lots of places you can get dispute letters, but this is just one example, and you can start and search these terms that you find in this letter to find more copies of these and different types of letters. So we're on the right track here to keeping more money. We've gone through FinRed, the Office of Financial Readiness, Splitting Pan worksheet, Consumer Finance Protection Bureau links. And here's a few more I have for you. So Consumer Finance has how to create a budget and stick to it. And here's some steps right here. They have an income tracker, a spending tracker, a calendar, a bill calendar. So these are and then the budget worksheet. So there's 4 different resources here inside this one link here. How to create a budget and stick to it has 4 different worksheets. Let's clean this up a little bit. So this is the first one. This is the income and benefits tracker. The spending tracker here, a little different. The bill calendar in step 3. Pretty simple. There are some tips here that make it a little different from a traditional calendar, but if you like your calendar at home, you can use that too. And the budget worksheet. Now I have a budget spreadsheet that I do provide to anyone who goes to my website to get those free resources. In addition to this 17-page PDF resource, you can get that spreadsheet. And what that does is it allows you to see all of your finances in a little bit more expanded form than this. It does have all of these categories, I believe, but sometimes a spreadsheet is easier. This is a housing affordability debt to income ratio calculator. Actually, I don't know if this actually calculates. I don't think we can put in a number on this. Yeah, this one is not a calculator. This one is just for you to print out or to get the information from here and enter it into a calculator on your own. But this does make it so that you can calculate it by giving you the math that you would need in order to calculate this. If you have any trouble doing this and you'd like some help calculating that, let me know in the comments. I can create another video that just covers this and possibly even provides a calculator. I think that I can put this into Excel or Google spreadsheets for you. We were at the housing affordability debt to income ratio, and I wanted to let everyone know 36% is usually what is seen as a good number to stay below. If you're using more than 36% of your income on rent or on your potential future house, that's probably going to put you in a financial crunch that you want to try to avoid if at all possible. So that's why this is really a helpful tool, is because it can help predict what trouble you might have paying for your housing if it's over a percentage of your income. If you don't know what your credit is, you can go to creditkarma.com, and Credit Karma will help you to figure out where your credit is and what might be weighing it down and where you can improve. And it's a great tool, it's free, and I've used it for years. Step 2, making more money. Write out your SMART goals for 2025. So SMART goals are something that can really help guide your year. If you've never set SMART goals, you don't know what a SMART goal is, you can use this file from the Department of Consumer Finance to help with that. A SMART goal is one that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And it's important to keep all those things into consideration when you are writing a goal, so that way it's not this big amorphous thing that makes it really hard to achieve. And this worksheet can help you kind of pull all those things out. It gives you some guidance on how you could attack that problem. So you can go in here and type in your answers into these boxes and answer those questions for yourself here to help figure out what those might look like for you for this year. So with regards to money, if your money goal is you want to buy a home this year, you could put what will I achieve? I would like to buy a house by December 31st. And measurable, how much? And how much of a down payment, or how much closing cost, or maybe you want to get a grant for your closing costs or for your down payment. So you could put that in here. Achievable, you want it to be something that you can actually reach. Relevant is it's something that you really want, it's important. And time bound. That's where I said up here, specific would be December 31st, then time bound would be December 31st. Some potential goals might be, besides buying a home, could be more education. Maybe you want to skill up in a certain area, or you want to go back to school. Maybe you want to get a better job. You want to improve your resume and put that together and start applying. I do have a job application tracker if that's something you're interested in. Put that in the comments and I can connect you with that resource. If you're interested in moving to a new city, possibly for higher wages, or if there's more jobs in an area or lower housing costs, you could consider that goal. You can consider moving to an area with better schools for your kids. Maybe you have a specific school in mind. Maybe they're reaching school age in the next year or two. These kinds of things might be a potential goal for the year. And lastly, an idea I had was connecting with a mentor. Examples could be an educational mentor at a college or an apprenticeship, career. There's lots of career resources and mentors even in our local community. There's financial mentors, there's housing mentors. If you're interested in housing resources, I have a page on that a little later on. Some examples for an education goal. You can access lots of free educational resources. Alachua County Library database is a great resource. These are all databases that the library provides to people with a library card. And so these are all websites that you can click on and then access by entering in login information or creating an account with your library card information. One of those available databases is the Learning Express. Right here, Learning Express. When you put in a library card, it will give you, I don't think I'm logged in here, it will give you access to preparing for standardized tests. So if you're a person who has not received a high school diploma, or you would like to study for your GED or another career entrance exam, I think one of the ones I saw in there was CNA, but there are lots of them, or other common assessments. There's a lot of other things that you can revise there. And there's homework help as well when you log into this. That's just one example. There are so many resources here, but between that one and LinkedIn Learning, you really can learn quite a lot about different things. And then a lot of these are just resources if you want to research something. There's lots of databases for that as well. Khan Academy, if you've never heard of that, that is a skills development page specifically for skills. Well, I'll say typically for skills that are for college and below, but then there are other things like if you wanted to learn a specific skill set like computer programming. So there's a lot of really specific, helpful videos for each topic. There's lots of units in each. This one specifically is for JavaScript. This is for HTML. And this is for SQL. So there's really a lot, it's a treasure trove of information on Khan Academy. This can also help your kids. If you have kids that are in a certain grade or studying a certain math level that maybe you are not familiar with anymore because it's not a part of your daily use in your career, you can direct them here to help them get a little bit more skills that they may need for their homework. Freshman year free through Modern States is a program where you can do your first college courses, your first year of college courses, your freshman year. And really probably even more than that. I just don't know that they would give you the free, you can still study it, but they may not give you the CLEP credit. They would give you the credit, but what they actually do is they give you a voucher for the CLEP exam. So once you pass the CLEP exam, that's what would then be evaluated at the college of your choice for the credit. Not all colleges accept every single CLEP exam, but you can take these exams and get the college credit. It's similar if you had ever taken an IB class or if you've heard of doing advanced placement classes. That's very similar to what a CLEP is, except for the CLEP is taken at the end, and there's not really assignments in this course. It's just videos and some study materials, maybe readings and things like that. Usually takes about 4 weeks for this one, for example. And then once you're done with studying for it, you would take a final exam, and then that would be awarded credit for you for that particular exam. And so you can combine Khan Academy resources and Modern States to gain your freshman year for free of information. They have quite a few different courses to choose from here. So all of those resources are free. You create an account, and then Modern States, let me pull it up here, how it works. You sign up, you complete all of your coursework and the practice questions, and then you request a CLEP voucher from the Modern States website. Once you register for the exam and you use your voucher code as the payment, then you contact your test center and schedule your exam. And so this is a really good way to get a jump on it, especially if you're approaching college, like if you're a college senior and you have some spare time over the summers or something like that. You can work on these slowly but surely and get college credit. Another area that you can get college credit is through Sailor Direct Credit. The website is free, the account is free, the study materials are free, but then when you'd like to schedule the exam, it's $5 for the exam fee that covers the proctor, that makes sure that academic integrity is followed. And there's a list of college and universities that specifically do accept Sailor credit. If you are looking at a school that is not on this list, it's important to understand that that credit may not transfer to schools in our local community. These are usually colleges. There's Florida International, I believe, which is not in Alachua County. And then there's TESU, which is my school, which is Thomas Edison University in New Jersey, Texas A&M. But yeah, it's still a really good option if it's something that you find college education unattainable because it's too expensive for you. You can pick a school where these types of lower cost credit is available to you. Another option is to consider a career in cybersecurity. There are a lot of different resources for training for cybersecurity. Cybrary has free content. I'll just pull that up now. The state of Florida also has free content. Through USF. And then once you have looked at those, you can consider the TEACS program for cybersecurity. And these are all free classes. And I believe this is the one that you sign up for through FEMA. You create a FEMA account, and then you can log in and take these classes. And there's more details on the website itself for that. Lots and lots here. If you are just looking for career guidance, like you have already gotten all of the training that you think you might need for your career, and you would just like help getting a job, you can stop by Career One Stop, or you can go to their website and you can explore careers, do a job search, or find local help. When you click on the Find Local Help button, it has a couple of different resources here. You can put in your zip code and it will pull up all of the different job centers that are available and when they are open. They also have a resume walkthrough tips section, and you can also look at additional sample resumes from there as well. And then there's also in Gainesville, the Career Guidance Center at Santa Fe College. And while the Career Guidance Center is specifically open to students, they have resources on their website that can help with your career search. One of my particular favorites is ONET Online. ONET Online is what the AI resume filters use to determine whether your resume meets the categorized, I'm not sure how to call it. It's basically the definitions of the job. So let's say we wanted to say this has dental assistant already filled in. These tasks, if you can put more of these tasks on your resume, you will rank higher than someone who doesn't have these tasks on their resume. Same for the technology skills and the work activities. These are typically the keywords used by AI for a common job. And so if you can put more of these, contact with others, physical proximity in your resume in a reasonable, it has to make sense, and you don't want it to just be a run-on resume that's 10 pages long. But if there's things in here that you have completed, you have done, that you have this experience, definitely work it into your resume. And even if it is a little bit longer, 2 pages, you will still be reasonably in the resume length window of 1 to 2 pages. I would rather have a longer resume in the world of AI that we live in now when applying for a job, because it's more keywords that can trigger an algorithm that get me to an actual person. So that is ONET Online, and you can reach that from this career guidance page at Santa Fe, or you can type it in. You can also look at salary.com and see if what you're getting paid in your area for your job is reasonable. And armed with this information, you can also negotiate more money. You can look at salary.com and then other information on this website to help you figure that out and get what you deserve. Another great tool, if you are considering a career change, is the National Fastest Growing Occupation Predictions on BLS.gov. It's the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. The occupational outlook here helps you determine that, and you would click on fastest growing projected. And this is based on projections for 2023 to 2033. And this is what we would expect to see grow. And over here, we see the median pay for 2023 for those different positions. If you're looking for something specifically in Florida, because that's where we are, you can click on the Florida fastest growing occupations. This data might be having a little bit of trouble loading tonight, but it is a Tableau data information screen here. Very similar to this, but it's specifically to Florida. I'm going to close some of these out so that we can free up a little bit of bandwidth. The next thing that we have locally here at the Alachua County Library District is the Library Partnership Resource Center Job Reentry Partnership Initiative. I will get a fresh link for that added. They may have stopped this for 2025. If it is no longer available, then I'll take that out of our resource here. The financial resources, if you have financial goals, one of the resources I found locally was the Partnership for Strong Families financial literacy classes. And this is through the Library Partnership. And this is a great website. There's a lot of different tools and things like that available there. You can reach out to them and find out when their next class will be coming up. For housing, the Neighborhood Housing Development Corporation is a great resource. They have resources for down payment assistance, for, I want to say closing cost assistance as well. Don't quote me on that. They have a list of programs and services available on their website. And if you reach out to them, I'm sure that they can tell you exactly which different things that you might qualify for. Here we go. Down payment and closing cost The Save for a Home program is specifically one that matches a savings account if you open a new savings account. And they have other programs as well. The Financial Fitness Program is an 8-hour course. And the Homebuyer Education Program is designed for households who are ready to purchase in the next year. And then they have counseling services as well. Coming up, we have the Gainesville Homebuyer Education and Training for Down Payment Assistance. That's coming up this month. It's a financial education class. It's going to be held, I believe, at the Housing and Community Development building. Oh, looks like we have several workshop dates. So the first one coming up would be January 15th. So just in a few days here. And they're going to hold it at the Thomas Center. And they happen on the third Wednesday of every month. So those are really helpful for getting down payment assistance if that's something that you are interested in applying for. All right, step 3. Get awarded more money and build a plan to get access to grant money. So grants are great because it's money that you don't have to pay back. It's money that's granted to you for whatever specific reason of need. One of the most common grants that a lot of people are well aware of is a Pell Grant. If your family was in a financial position to not be able to afford sending you to college, a lot of students qualify for Pell Grants. And you can read about those different types of grants here. There's more than just the Pell Grant. There's a lot of different other grants depending on your eligibility. If you're going to be potentially a teacher, then there's the Teach Grant. There's grants if you want to go into medicine for, I guess it's not a grant if you're working, but I know there's the Nursing Corps grants. There's the doctor grants where if you're going to serve in like specific needed areas, then you can get grant money for that. But there's another name for it if it's work, if you have to work for a couple of years. That's where the Nursing Corps is. You work for a couple of years, and after you become a nurse, and they cover the cost of your school up to a certain amount. And we did talk a little bit about the home ownership grants, like down payment assistance grants and things like that from Gainesville and where were we? Neighborhood Housing and Development Corporation. Let's see, where was I? Home ownership grants. Okay. So in Alachua County, there's the State Housing Initiative Partnership. That's statewide, but you have to go through your local governments in order to receive that. And so that's the SHIP funding. We also have things like Hometown Heroes in Florida, if you are specifically in a certain job field. And if you're interested in getting that list and reviewing that, I'd be happy to help connect you with that and connect you with a lender that can help you figure that out. But the SHIP is different. SHIP is you go to a class and then you apply. And if you have a specific income need, then this can provide down payment assistance for that. Business grants, if this is something that you are either in business or you want to buy a business, there's certain grants that can be awarded for certain things. And you can look through this page here at the Small Business Administration to review those funding programs that could be available for you, for your community organizations, and for your state. Farming grants is the one that I have the most experience with recently. You can apply for farm loans, housing assistance loans, if you are a low to moderate income rural American. And there are maps that allow you to determine whether you're living or plan to be living in a rural area where this would qualify. There are multifamily housing programs to help build rural rental housing. And not all of these are grants, but this is the page where you would research both grants and loans. Beginning farmer and rancher, this is the loan and then grant that I received. And there's just really a lot of information to be had if you're curious and want to find the information. So one of the biggest things with grants is to just do your research and keep digging to find out what grants you might be eligible for. Once you find the grant that you think you might be eligible for, you can reach out to either the government organization or the nonprofit organization that might have the grant money that you would like to apply for, and find out what is required in order for you to apply. And then you can put that information into a tool like Goblin Tools to help you break that. Sometimes it can be a lot of information, a lot of steps to figure out what you need to do. So this is the magic to do. And this is the formalizer. And you can do a lot with this tool to figure out step by step what might, let's see, how to apply for a USDA beginning, let's just put farmer. Let's see, does it give us that? I don't know if I put enough detail in there for that. Estimate? I don't think I gave it enough information. I did. Okay, so the magic wand. You click the little magic wand once you type it in, and it'll give you a checklist of things to start with. And, gathering necessary documentation is a big step. You can sit down with someone at the local USDA office. They're really nice people, and they'll help you get the information you need to put something together. And if that's something that interests you and you want to have a small farm, or you want to have a potential loan or grant money for you to do something farming related for profit on a city lot, in your backyard, in your garage, whatever it looks like for your space, then you can put something together and apply to the USDA for that. You can also search for grant tutorials on YouTube. There are a lot of free resources, and I say free because I don't want you to go and pay thousands of dollars to get someone to get you grant information. Definitely do your footwork and dedicate a little bit of time to this before paying anyone for any kind of grant resources. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that are well-meaning when they charge for their grant services. If you're looking for grants, you're probably in a position where you don't have a lot of money to be throwing towards these types of tools. So just do your research before investing your hard-earned money into anything that might be materials for grants or resources for grants, because there should be plenty of information available for free. It just takes a little bit of research. And lastly, you can leverage AI to help answer questions and research and apply for these grants, help you write things that, help edit your copy if you've written some things, make it a little bit more detailed, and give you, it can even ask you questions that you then fill in that would make your grant proposal more detailed and well-written. So I went into ChatGPT and I wrote down a little bit of information. I asked it about getting a grant, how to get a grant, and this is what it came up with. It created a step-by-step process. And so you want to define your goal and identify your process, your purpose, clarify your objectives, and this is all available in this downloadable PDF if you're interested in just getting this, or you can just go straight to ChatGPT and ask this question too. Then you want to research your grant opportunities on these online databases. You want to use local resources, check state and local websites, community organizations, business development centers. You can look at industry-specific grants, look for grants tailored to your field, such as real estate, education, or technology. You want to review your eligibility requirements to ensure you meet the grant criteria, such as location, demographics, project type, or nonprofit status. And some grants, I would say most grants, have strict eligibility rules. So you want to make sure that you read your guidelines carefully and take notes while you're reading, so that way you don't have to go back and reread and reread. You have your little checklist there for you, so you understand what those guidelines are. Next, you're going to prepare a strong proposal. Once you have your guidelines, you want to identify and explain that to the person who's going to be reviewing your grant proposal. So you can create a clear plan, outline your goals, the problem you aim to solve, and how the grant will help you achieve those objectives. You want to provide a detailed budget, and we did have some budget resources that I mentioned at the beginning of this, and you can use those, but you can really just open a Google Drive spreadsheet and develop a budget for how you plan for the funds to be used. You want to write your impact statement and highlight the expected outcomes and how they align with your the grantor's mission. So the grantor of the grant is the person who's going to be giving you the money. So in the example we used for the USDA, if you are interested in purchasing livestock, then you would want to explain how purchasing the livestock is going to align with the USDA's mission to assist with beginning farmers. And you would use ChatGPT to make a more elegantly written speech than the one that I have just stated. You want to gather your supporting documents and include letters of recommendation if you feel that that is relevant to the grant you're applying. Business plans, typically if you're applying for a for-profit grant, something like the USDA's Beginning Farmer does require a business plan of sorts. They have forms that help you with that, so it's not like your traditional business plan that you would see if the Small Business Administration was giving you a grant, but it is still a business plan statement. And some require proof of nonprofit status. That is not the case for the Small Business Administration and the USDA. But if you are applying for specifically a government grant that does require that, then you would want to make sure that you have proof of that. Once you have all of that together, you want to submit your application, follow the instructions, and adhere to the format and guidelines specified by the grantor. Make sure that it is proofread and ensure your application is error-free, and meet all the deadlines because late submissions are often not accepted. After you have applied for your grant, you want to follow up and make sure that it has been received, check for updates, and be prepared to provide additional information if requested. And I did have to do a lot of that. There was a lot of follow-up, but in the end, it was all worth it. So that is the 17-page document that I created to help people in Alachua County connect with resources and get more money, keep more money, and apply for grants in 2025. I hope that this has